Hi there. How are you doing? Great. I'm also doing fine. Thanks. When I started using the Databricks platform for the hackathon we participate in, I was struck with how complicated it is and decided I make a short video just to know what you have to look at when you use it for the first time. So the first thing you have here is the main overview area where you have workspaces, which are probably the most important thing here. I created one, the Databricks Hackathon workspace. And if you want to access it, you then have to open it. Before we jump into the workspace, something that's very interesting is here you can set up billing to use Databricks serverless features. And then in addition, you need to set up billing on a cloud service provider on which the different nodes and machines are running of Databricks. So Databricks uses under the hood Apache Spark and others, and they need a lot of machines running. And so you need to set up also billing and payment option here on AWS or Microsoft Azure or somewhere else. So this was very interesting for me that they have like this dual payment thing, which is not so intuitive in the beginning. Now we clicked here on Open Workspace, and now we are inside the workspace. Here we have a bunch of controls. The most important one is obviously workspace. And here you have folders and you have repos. I personally like repos because, well, in programming you use them a lot, right? In order to create a new repo, you click here, add repo. You either can clone one from a Git repository. We will not use this right now, but we just make a Loom showcase, create, and now we have a new repository or folder, how they call it. And now the second cool thing the main thing when you start trying out Databricks is most probably using a notebook. So you come here, you click add notebook, and now we are in a typical Jupyter notebook where we can run commands like print, hello guys, and if we run it, it doesn't run immediately, right? So people jump into this like I did it, and what happened was that it didn't run because what you have to do first is you have to connect it to a cluster. And how can you create a cluster is very different from where you're in the interface. So let's go back. We named this here Loom Showcase so that we don't forget. And then let's go back to compute, or first time for us actually. And what we can see here, we have a couple of clusters. A cluster is a set of machines that are set up to work with Apache Spark. It's a distributed environment. If you use multiple machines, if you use a single one, it's not. And here we can start a cluster. So now this is my personal cluster, as you can see. I called it 2 because, well, trying out things doesn't always work. What you can also do is here in the beginning, when you do it for the first time, create compute. And here you have to set up all the things. You can just leave them per default in the beginning. And what's important over here are the DBUs. DBU stands for Databricks unit per hour. Databricks unit is a unit that is, built differently depending what kind of service you run. And this also has to be paid, as far as I understand, on AWS or on Azure or somewhere. So this is the important number here. We can see the runtime is the latest LTS of Spark. It's Scala. I have no idea actually. It's the latest Databricks runtime, right? This is Databricks. The next one is Scala, and the last one is Spark. We will not need this in the first time we set up a cluster. Let's look back if the other one is already running. Not yet. It always takes a little bit of time. Something that I find a bit intuitive. You want to start working immediately and then you always have to wait. But the reason for this is that, well, all the machines have to wake up. And this is the strong part of Databricks. If you want to use a large amount of data to process in machine learning applications, this is one option to go. And of course, until everything is set up, as we can see here, it takes a lot of time. On the other hand, you can see that if you just want to develop a simple, for example, a chatbot, a RAG application, some typical GenAI applications which are hot and cool right now, then it probably doesn't make sense to set up all the Databricks environment, because it's just it takes a lot of time to set up, to understand it, and it's also rather expensive if you always have to run a cluster. Let's wait until this is finished. All right, so now the cluster is up and running, and we can use it for our notebook. We will go back to Workspace, look for the repo we just created, which is here, the new showcase. And here we have our notebook. We can open it, and now we can run something like, for example, print hello guys. And now it wants to attach to a cluster, which is this one. I like it. And we run it. Let's see how long hello guys statement takes. If you start it up, yeah, I think it's because we just attached it. It takes so long. Hello guys, great. And now if we do something else, right, it works much faster, no? Hello again. Yeah, now it works. Yeah, now you can work here like you could do in any Jupyter notebook. And the cool thing is that you can directly interact with all the SQL tables, with the Delta tables, with the data you have uploaded or connected with Databricks. What you can do is to import data, for example, from S3 buckets from Amazon or and other providers. And it allows you to just work with data quickly and use it in all these upstream and downstream machine learning tasks, which I will not go into detail right now. Just the last thing that really helped me getting up to speed with the platform was using their assistant. So here is the Databricks assistant. I think it's actually a pre-trained model by Databricks, as if I remember correctly. And yeah, here you can ask, like, I don't know, how to create a delta table, for example, and then you get a quick answer. And this was really helpful because the docs were not that easy to understand at times. And yeah, with this one, I think you'll get a grasp of the platform quickly. Yeah, I hope this helped to get to use a notebook, set up a cluster, understand how the pricing works a bit, and just not being struck by all the different options you have when you look at it the first time. See ya.